Once you think you've got it all figured out with social media, something changes and then you got to find a new strategy. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and I know it makes you want to pull your hair out because trust me, sometimes I do too. Well, today I'm going to help you with all of that. We are going to go through 7 things that are actually working in social media right now, and they can help you create meaningful content that converts followers into customers. Episode 95 starts right now. Hey there, welcome to the Lora Shipman Show. We hang out here weekly to talk about things like social media, entrepreneurship, marketing, tools, strategies, tips, and it all starts right now. Hey there, before we get started with this show, I just want to share my passion with you. I love teaching people just like you how to master social media for business, breaking it down into easy to consume and easy to execute steps so that you can see immediate results. So whether you want to start a social media consultancy or grow your brand's presence on social media, I can help. I can help you get started and master all the things that you need to know. So I want you to go over to my website. It is filled with resources, tools, tips, and courses. Visit lorashipman.com. That's LORA shipman.com to get all the goods. Now, you ready for the show? I know I am. Let's get started. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I just like to dive right in. So grab your pen and a piece of paper and let's crack this nut. Let's figure out how we can get more eyeballs and more conversation started on your social media, because that's what it's all about, right? Before we get into any of these 7 tips, I want you to first think about the word social media, or the words, 2 words there, social and media. The first one is social. So a lot of this stuff, you just have to network basically online. So if you go to weekly networking meetings, think of social media the same way, except you've got a global opportunity here, right? You can go further than your own zip code to meet new people and to do business and all of those things. But you have to do some things first before you can get to that converting business part. So we're going to dive right into this. And the first one we're going to talk about is transparency and authenticity. So before, especially in the world of Instagram, it was very important to have this aesthetic, this feel, this patterned feed so that you looked picture perfect. Well, that's not what really people want anymore. They really want to know the person behind the brand and the business. So now, to get more engagement on your posts, audiences are demanding to see the true you, the more authentic you, the one that provides transparency, that kind of makes you, well, that does make you look like you're a human like the rest of us, right? So they want to see more of who you are, what it looks like in your day-to-day life. And basically, they want to feel like they're kind of a part of your daily life. And that means they want to get to know you on a deeper level. So how do you do that? Take them along on the journey. Okay? So a lot of the social media platforms now have the story feature. And Instagram and Facebook do a really good job with this. So if those are your 2 main platforms, use the story feature. Let them in on your life a little bit. And I know you might sit there and think, well, my life is not that exciting. I don't travel to Bali every weekend or have this, huge life. That's okay. People don't want to see the huge life. They want to get to know the girl next door, or they want to get to know that average person out there who can actually help them with their business, who can really know what it feels like to walk in their shoes. So how do you do this? My best advice to you is to document. Document what you're doing. Document. I know this sounds so Instagrammable or Instagram-ish, but document like your breakfast and your lunch, or document when you go to errands. Let people see the mess of your desk or whatever it is that you're doing right then. Don't be afraid to go behind the curtains a little bit. People love that type of content, and they're going to find something in that content that makes you relatable to them. So for example, for me, one of the things I do every morning, sometimes every afternoon, is go for a 5 to 7 mile walk. And I usually take some sort of picture or video on that walk. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will know I have a special highlight reel just about gator sightings. I live in Tampa, Florida area, and there are gators all over the place where I walk. People relate to that because some people who live maybe in Michigan or something who don't have gators ask me questions about it, and it starts the relationship. It starts the conversation. It gives us something to talk about. So I want you to think, whether it's your dog or your coffee or your wine at 5 o'clock at night, whatever that makes you relatable to someone else, use that in your social media. And just think about how you've met friends along the way. What is that common bond or thread that brought you guys together? And how can you kind of put that into your social media feed? Tip number 2, let's talk lead magnets. Does everybody know what a lead magnet is? It's one of these high-value freebies that you give away. So it could be something like a checklist, a video course, an ebook, a guide, a worksheet, whatever it is, but it's something that's really valuable that people just want to get because it's going to really help them with their business. It's going to help make their life easier somehow, some way. The cool thing about lead magnets is typically what happens is you create a form asking people for their name and their email address, and in return, you give them this freebie. That's pretty common practice. Well, I want to add one more side to this. What if you created an ad for that freebie? And you're probably thinking, why am I going to spend money on something I'm giving away for free? I think it's brilliant because you're going to reach so many more people and you're going to grow your email list where you can nurture those people afterwards and get to know them better, get to offer them your products, your services, whatever it is. But the key to this is making sure if you're going to spend money on ads, and it doesn't have to be a lot, it can be $25, it could be $50, you get to pick that. But whatever amount of money that is, you want to make sure it's one of the very best lead magnets you can get, because the goal here is to get as many email addresses as you possibly can so that you can nurture and get to know these people in the future. Tip number 3, I promise you, will never go out of style and it will never get old. And it's good old-fashioned value. You want to be delivering value with every post or everything that you do on social media. You never just want to put something on social media just for the sake of putting something up there. It's got to have a purpose and it's got to serve somebody. It's got to make somebody's life better, easier, however you want to say it. But you got to ask yourself, what's in it for the person consuming whatever I'm putting out there? And I think a lot of people miss that. And I think a lot of people also worry about giving away everything for free. Let me just kind of tell you about that for a little bit. I've been doing this for a very long time. I give away absolutely almost everything for free. I give away all my knowledge. I give away all my tips. I give away templates. You name it, I've probably given it away. And I've had people ask me, Lora, why are you giving your stuff away for free? There are so many reasons why I do this. The first one is it's a great way to build authority and credibility in your space. I mean, if you're giving away free content that makes a difference, people are going to pay attention to you before they're going to pay attention to the other person, right? The other thing is, don't get caught up in giving it away for free because nobody's going to buy from you in the future. People have a hard time staying accountable to things, especially when it's free. So once you have built that credibility and that authority with them, and you come out with something you're going to charge for, and it may even include some of the stuff you've given away for free in the past, they're going to purchase it because you've built that trust with them and they know what they're going to get from you, and it can only get better, right? And then the other thing about that is once they pay for something and they've got skin in the game, the likelihood of them actually finishing whatever it is to completion is so much higher than if they had taken it for free. So you're going to end up okay in the long run. Now, if you don't have any digital products or anything like that you're selling, maybe it's a service, all the more reason to give away stuff for free. And that's how I've built my entire business, because a lot of my clients come from people who've referred me out because they see all the knowledge that I'm pouring into social media. Or it's been clients who've been watching me on social media saying, she really knows what she's talking about. I need to work with Lora. She's the only person I'm going to work with because look at all this stuff she knows and does. So don't let giving things away for free as value scare you. It's only going to help you. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, what kind of things count as value on social media? I mean, I can't always give away a checklist or a training or something. No, you can't. But here's some things. I'm going to give you a little bit of a laundry list of things that you can do. So like I said, you could do mini trainings where you just, share a snippet of whatever it is you're an expert at. Share a checklist, like we said. Show people how to do something. Show people a process that will make their life easier. Post stuff that educates people. Teach them something. And then why not entertain them while you're at it? Make them laugh. And don't forget to reward your audience. Sometimes I think people forget that rewarding is a great thing. And what do I mean by rewarding? Think of things like coupons, flash sales, freebies, gift with purchase, anything that rewards your audience for showing up on your account regularly. Okay, so my next tip number 4, I know is not going to be a popular one because I know a lot of people have fear around this, but video in stories is so important. I don't care what social media platform you're on, it's just taking over. And it's predicted that 2020 is actually going to be even more intense than 2019 was. And I remember in 2018, they said 2019 was going to be even more intense when it came to video. Let me give you the why first, why it's so important. Social media, when you're dealing with static posts, like posts in the newsfeed and stuff like that are just pictures, only show you a little dimension of the person. The minute you put somebody in front of a video camera, you get to see their facial expressions. You can hear the inflection in their voice. You hear their passion, their excitement for whatever they're talking about. And it feels like you really know the person because you're seeing them face to face. So once you can kind of break down that wall of distance through video, you're going to be able to connect with your audience so much better. I am going to be the first one to admit I hate being in front of the camera. I just get nervous. I feel like I'm not making sense. I feel like people are picking out every flaw, all of those things, but you've got to work through that. And one of the best ways to work through being camera shy is embracing stories. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Honestly, you really can. And my recommendation would be to start with a video slowly using baby steps. Stories are a great way to do it. It gets you really feeling comfortable about being in front of a video camera, and then build from there. Then maybe go into pre-recorded video like IGTV videos, and then go into lives like Facebook Live or Instagram Live. The point is, video is so important because it builds up that know, like, and trust. And the more know, like, and trust you have in your business, the more successful you're going to be. So if you need another podcast just about video and tips on how to overcome video, let me know in the comment section, because if I get enough comments about creating videos and how to do it so you're not tongue-tied and scared, I will be happy to put together an episode on that. Okay, the number 5 thing that's working right now on social media are captions. Captions on videos and stories. And this is so important for you to embrace. What you need to think about is the majority of videos and stories are being consumed with the sound off. That means people are consuming things probably when they shouldn't be. So for example, somebody's in an office meeting that's turned really boring and they probably have their phone kind of slid under the table and they're watching videos and stories and they're reading the captions that are going across the screen. Or it could be the other thing, which I'm totally guilty of. Late at night when I can't sleep, what I like to do is I turn the light down on my phone and go through Instagram stories and Facebook stories and watch it with the sound off so I don't disturb my husband. So who's guilty of that? I'm sure I'm not the only one. So do what you can to do text overlays or use apps that will convert your spoken voice into captions. It's really important that you embrace that. Number 6. This one is not going away anytime soon, so it's important to make sure you're up on this. And it's hashtags. Hashtags are becoming more and more important as social media continues to evolve. So you've got hashtags working really well in Instagram. They're working really well in LinkedIn and Twitter. I think that was the birthplace of the hashtag, right? So take your time and get to know how to use hashtags effectively. I'm not going to go into a full hashtag training here because I have other podcasts that are dedicated to hashtags as well as blog posts. So I will link to both of those in the show notes. But just know you really do need to embrace hashtags and use all the hashtags you possibly can depending on the different social media platforms you're posting on. For example, Instagram gives you 30 hashtags to use. Use all 30 of them. It's 30 opportunities for you to connect with your target audience. Don't listen to, I call it puppeteering of social media where people are like, no, only use 15 and then only use 7 on this day. That's craziness. I mean, you're just trying to beat an algorithm that you're never going to beat anyways because it's a computer equation. I mean, let's be real about this. You can't trick it. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a rant about algorithms and how to beat the algorithm. What I am going to tell you is I'm going to give you the resources so that you can up your hashtag game and you have all the information you need to create a great hashtag strategy for your accounts. Tip number 7 is all about putting the social back in social media. I want you to forget about likes. Those are just vanity metrics, likes and followers, things like that. And I want you to focus more on the connection part of social media because that's when you'll win. When you focus on connecting with people and building relationships and getting to know people, that's when social media really works. So think of social media as this huge networking organization. You have a chapter over here called Instagram. You've got another chapter over here called Facebook. You've got another chapter over here called LinkedIn. Let's use those 3 as an example. So this is how I kind of look at those 3 places. Let's look at Facebook first. That's the place where like your hometown, right? So that's where maybe your friends from high school hang out or college. You've got your families in there. You've got your neighbors down the street and you all kind of talk to each other. And then you have these little groups that you can join that are maybe sub-chapters. But the point is you have like kind of built-in relationships there already. Use them, get to know them, talk, don't be so shy. Instagram, I look at as the cocktail party. You go there, there's all sorts of people, coming out of the woodworks. You're getting to know people. People are connecting from all over the world. They're chatting and they're having these great conversations. Now let's look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn might be a little bit more conservative, but it's still a great place to meet people and learn from people and connect and do some office networking type things. So really look at your social media platforms as different neighborhoods or different chapters or different types of parties and figure out how you're going to start the conversations in those different atmospheres. That's all it is, guys. All it is just meeting people. It's like how you made friends, how you made friends at the office or how you make friends in your neighborhood or how you made friends when you were in college, whatever it was, or however you go about meeting people. That's all social media is. And sometimes you need to take the first step. Sometimes you just need to reach out and introduce yourself with no strings attached. Like you really want to just meet somebody. You're not trying to sell them anything. You are truly there to meet new people, interesting people without strings. So think about that the next time. How can you go and introduce yourself to someone? I know this sounds a little cheesy, but slide into their DMs, but in a non-spammy way. Say, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I've been following you here. I really like your content. My name is Lora, and thank you for providing whatever it is that you provide. That kind of thing goes a long way. So my friends, those were my 7 tips. I'll recap them really quickly. It's being transparent and authentic. It's using ads and lead magnets to build your email list. Number 3 is providing value on top of value. Number 4 is embracing video and stories. Number 5 is using video and stories captions. It's really important. Number 7 is hashtags. And number 8 is just building your community. Find your people. There is a whole globe full of people just waiting to meet you. And that's all you have to do on social media to be successful, is just introduce yourself and build relationships. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Hey there, I just want to say thank you for spending time with me here today. I know your time is super valuable, which is why I am dedicated to providing lots of usable, actionable information in the shortest amount of time possible. Before you go, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. And if you have ideas or topics you would like me to cover in an upcoming show, let me know about it in the comment section provided.